Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening in our brains when somebody triggers us. I've got this diagram up here of two different options that might happen in our brain. Both of them start with something called sensory input. That is a way a neurologist or a brain scientist might talk about it. But I'm going to put a word you already know. Sensory input is just another way to say a trigger, right? So let's pretend a trigger happens. So you see it, you hear it, right? Your brain gets that information. They send that information right into your amygdala. And your amygdala is this little tiny part of your brain, right? Where you first process information. It's kind of like a gatekeeper or a guard. It lets your brain know something's coming in. And what you want to happen is you want that amygdala to take that trigger, that new information, and send it to your prefrontal cortex. That's right here. This is the smart part of your brain. This is where you store everything you've ever learned, right? And all of those good choices you can make. So if your amygdala is healthy and working well, it'll send that trigger to your prefrontal cortex, and you'll think, I have a few choices here. My brother just called me an idiot. I could hit him. I could call him an idiot back. I could maybe just take a deep breath and shut my bedroom door. Or I could tell him, hey, stop calling me names. Those are all prefrontal cortex ideas, right? Your amygdala let your prefrontal cortex decide what to do. Then once you think about all those options, you make a conscious response. You think, I have all these choices I could do. I think what I'll do is just take a deep breath and shut my bedroom door. I need a break from him anyway. Let's take that same situation. Trigger happens. Your brother calls you an idiot. It goes to your amygdala, to that gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper, instead of sending it to your prefrontal cortex where everything that you know is right or good or might make a better choice is stored, it totally doesn't go there. It goes straight into your fight, flight, or freeze response. We call that amygdala hijacking, right? It means your amygdala is making the choice instead of the part of your brain that knows everything. And so this is important because if your brother calls you an idiot and your amygdala immediately goes into fight, flight, or freeze, you're probably going to take a swing at him. You might slam the door to your bedroom and run as far as you can away from the door and try and barricade it. That's your flight. You might just not do anything, right? Like a deer in the headlights. None of these are great conflict resolution response. None of these really help a lot. When the emotions are high and your amygdala is overwhelmed, you can't get here to make a good choice. So sometimes thinking about that brain helps you realize that what is going on is a regular response, and we have to make this part right here stronger. You make this connection to the smart part of your brain stronger by practicing doing it over and over and over again.